Hi, my name is Christian Flutter and welcome to Ask Dr. Christian. So what do Pete Evans and Ron Burgundy have in common? Let's find out.
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
That's right, we're going to be talking about milk. So milk itself has four major constituents within it. It's about 87% water with around 4.5% fat, 4.5% lactose, 3.5% protein, and then there's also a little bit of mineral on the side. Now at this point you're thinking, well, milk is quite good, it's full of fat, that helps to fatten up that undernourished child. It's full of proteins, it's got casein and whey. It's got the lactose, which is a sugar, it helps to provide any energy that our body needs. And then of course the mineral component. The biggest one that we think of is calcium. Now cow's milk is around 0.1% calcium. And at this stage we're thinking, great, cow's milk is essentially the same as human breast milk. But there is one rather significant difference, and that is in the proteins. Now there are two major types of proteins found inside most milks, casein and whey. In human breast milk, we're whey dominant, and it's around 80% whey to 20% casein. Cows, however, are kind of the opposite. They're 20% whey to 80% casein. Now the problem with this is most infants react to the casein protein found in milk, and they react in such a way that it creates an allergic response to things. The lining of our gut is the bit that's most affected, and it starts to become a little bit more permeable. Things can leak in and out, and it creates an irritation to the gut as well as other systems. Around 20% of children with a gut sensitivity to cow's milk end up with a lung sensitivity as well. Now this is seen as snuffly, wheezy, congested sounding kids. About 15% of kids end up with a skin sensitivity, so their skin becomes more permeable as well. And they end up with eczema or atopic dermatitis, or even cradle cap as well. Now the second impact that can happen to the lining of the gut is a change in the ability to break down lactose. Typically we use an enzyme called lactase to break lactose down. This is only present until around 3 years of age, so it's quite important, especially when milk is 4.5% lactose. Without that lactase enzyme, we start to see indications of lactose intolerance. Now, how many of you have had kids that carry on at night? They're grunting and groaning, they feel bloated, they sound windy, they're unsettled, they're irritable. There's a bit of diarrhea. There's a bit of reflux going on because of the irritation to their gut. This may be secondary lactose intolerance due to a cow's milk protein sensitivity. So why bring my child to a chiropractor for cow's milk protein sensitivity? Well, it's not to do with the sensitivity, it's the behavior. Typically, kids who have got a cow's milk sensitivity end up being very unsettled, and unsettled infants are one of the most common things that we see in our practice. So if you've trialed a period of going off dairy and off cow's milk and your child's still unsettled, there may be another underlying issue going on. And it may be worthwhile getting your child assessed either by your medical practitioner or a physiotherapist or an osteopath or a chiropractor, and making sure that there's nothing else going on inside their system. I hope you enjoyed that video. And if you have a question, ask Dr. Christian. So, funny thing, you remember that statement Pete Evans made in regards to drinking milk and it leaches calcium out of your bones? Well, in 2005, they did a study and they looked at all the research involved with dairy intake and bone health. There were 37 papers. Of those, 27 actually found no relationship between dairy intake and bone health. And what's more, they found that cow's milk is actually a very poor source of absorbable calcium, with only around a 30% absorption rate, especially when you compare it to broccoli, which is over 60% absorption rate. And even more, they found the proteins inside cow's milk it increases your excretion of calcium, which means we have to take calcium out of our bones to replace the calcium that we've lost from drinking milk. Now, isn't that what Pete Evans is saying?